Okay, we'll have a look at gold. It is doing something quite significant. Gold. This is a weekly chart. Goes this trend line goes back to November of 2012, so over a year. Obviously, we've been in a significant downtrend. We did call a bottom with this double bottom formation here around the 1180 area. We had a low in June of last year and then again in December of last year. So we did call a bottom and it has worked quite nicely. We've had a good rally up, but we're now heading towards this trend line this week, which is in the sort of mid to high 1250 area. And I think as we approach that, we are going to struggle. Stochastics are still positive, but I still think that this trend line is going to be a major problem this week. If we move to the daily chart, we've also got some significant Fibonacci resistance here. I've taken a fib line from the high in May, and that gives us Fibonacci resistance around the 1255 area. Well, that does happen to have been the exact high so far for this move, and I really think that there's a very strong chance we don't get any higher than 1255. We tried a short yesterday. We did dip to around 1244. Didn't get quite as low as I'd hoped, but we're back up in the mid 1250 area, and I do think that's a good opportunity to try shorts again, unless we start breaking well above the, really ideally we have a stop above 1260. I mean, that would be ideal. We need to give it some room. It is a big longer term level, and we are getting overbought short term on the daily chart. On the 4-hour chart, we're very overbought indeed. You can see we've even also got a small double top pattern in gold at 1255, the high on Friday, the high yesterday. So there's quite a few factors that are telling me that we're done on the top side in gold for the time being, and we could turn lower, at least to yesterday's low around the 1244, 43 area. And look, we've got good fib support short term with the trend line in the high 1230s, 1239, 1237 area. So that looks like a reasonable target over the next day or two for gold. Bounce from here is certainly possible, but you've also got to be ready to sell a break below 1237 and look for the high 1220s. Well, we'd see 1232, 1231 would be the immediate target, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see 1227, 1225 in gold. That's probably where we'd seriously start considering buying into longs again, but we'll have to just review it if we get that far. So that's what I'm thinking for gold at the moment. More likelihood of some moves to the downside. If we look at dollar yen, that didn't work well at all yesterday. That was pretty horrible. The weekly chart we have, well, I'll show you the daily chart because that more clearly shows the small double top that we got around the 105.44 area. We hit that yesterday, I think it was, and then collapsed. No, sorry, that was Friday. So we continued to sell off yesterday. I did think the 103.40.35 area would hold the downside, this fib support. It didn't at all. We sailed straight through it, and that did cost us money on that trade yesterday. What's next? We've got 102.70 as good Fibonacci support. You can see we've got some action around that area as well from some weekly highs and lows. So I think there's a good chance that 102.70 does hold it. The weekly chart is looking quite negative, but we are in such a strong uptrend that you still got to stay with that trend and look to buy into dips. So 102.70 should hold. What have we got here? I don't think there's anything else too significant on this chart. 102.20 is the level below that if we don't hold 102.70, but let's see if there's anything shorter term. Not really. If we do manage a rally to resistance to around the 103.80 area, I think that'll probably hold the top side today. We've got some action there. We've got some fib resistance, so I think 103.80 there is a good chance of a high for the day there. I think I said put a stop in around 104.10. We'll give it some room. It's quite a wide stop, but anyway, let's see what happens there. So 103.80 on the top side, 102.70 on the downside. I'm thinking should hold it today. Crude I'm leaving alone. It's not been very kind to us lately. I'm not going to suggest a trade, but if you feel compelled to trade crude, look, we've got a trend line coming in here which is holding. We've got fib support which is holding in the low 91 area. We have something of, we're very oversold on the daily chart. We're very oversold on the 4-hour chart now. And we've got something of a double bottom. Yesterday we bottomed out at 91.43, just above 91.24. So I actually do feel positive on oil. If you want to punt, you could buy it and you could look for a return back up to this 93 sort of 30-40 area. But I'm not going to get too involved myself in oil today. I just wanted to point it out in case anyone's trading it and needed some background. Obviously a break below 91.00 is negative for oil. Forget the fact that we're oversold. We're going to plunge again probably. We'd at least see 90.60, I would suggest, which probably would be very good support, but we'll just have to see what happens today.